This video clip describes how to add and multiply fractions. If I have 3/4 of a pepperoni pizza left and 1/2 of a sausage pizza left, how much pizza do I have left altogether? So we would say 3/4 plus 1/2. Well, if those had the same denominator, we could add them fairly simply, but they don't. So we could multiply to get the same denominator. Looks like 4 would be the same denominator. So I could multiply that 1/2 by a special number to get it to fourths. I'm going to have to multiply by 2 to get it to fourths, but the only number that I can multiply and not change the value is 1. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So if I multiply that 1/2 by 2 over 2, although it will look different, it will still have the same value. So that will be 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So that 1/2 could be written as 2/4. So let's write that as 3/4 plus 2/4 equals 5/4. You could write that as 1 and 1/4 because 4/4 is a whole pizza. But anyways, we have 5/4 of a pizza left. A batch of waffles calls for 3/4 of a cup, 3/4 cups of flour. How much flour do I need for 2 batches? Well, 2 times 3/4 is 6/4. If we wanted to reduce that, we could say, well, that is 4/4 plus 2/4, so that is 1 and 2/4. We could even say that is 1 and 1/2. But 6/4 is, if we have a 4th measuring cup, we could do 6 of those. A cake recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup of applesauce. For a large family gathering, I would like to make a cake 3 times the normal size. How much applesauce do I need? Well, 3 times 1/3 is 3/3. We need 1 cup. So let's say I have 3 people over and I want to serve sliced apples. Each person will eat about 2/3 of an apple. How many apples should I cut up? Well, 2/3 times 3 is 6/3. You multiply the 2 and the 3 on the top. That could be written as 3/3 plus 3/3, which equals 1 plus 1, which equals 2. So I would need to cut up 2 whole apples. I'd like to revisit the first problem that we did. There's another way that we could deal with adding fractions of different denominators. So let's start with 3/4 plus 1/2. If I multiply 2 times 3, then I get 6. If I multiply 2 times 4, I get 8. So if I multiply that denominator on the other side by both the numerator and the denominator on the other side, that is the same as multiplying by 1. Or I could have written, multiply that by 2 over 2, which is 1. So although 6/8 looks different than 3/4, it has the same value in the end. So now if I multiply this 4 by the 1, and multiply the 4 times the 2, now I have those written so that they have the same denominator. And then I can just add them straight across. 6/8 plus 4/8 is 10/8. Well, that can be reduced, but that value is correct. We could factor our 10 into 5 times 2. We could factor our 8 into 4 times 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that could be reduced to 5/4. We could even reduce that to 1 and 1/4, but 5/4 is the same value as 10/8.